So as many of you know, I'm a Challenger Draven one-trick, and I've been playing Draven since Season 3. And in this video, I will try to show you what I've learned from playing Draven for 5 years. So, Draven has some pretty interesting mechanics that I think a lot of Draven players, even Draven one-tricks, don't know about. So in this video, I will try to explain them, put some light to them, and help everybody become a better Draven player. So for the first mechanic that I'm going to go over is Stand Aside. Now this ability, it has many uses and it can be very useful. The first thing that I'm going to go over is the knock side. So Stand Aside, it knocks either to the right or to the left, depending on where you cast it. And in a lot of cases, you want to knock them towards you or either away from you. And it's very important to realize that you don't want to just throw it in the middle, because often it's better to get them either to the left or to the right, so you want to keep that in mind and throw it more to what direction or what opposite direction you want them to go in. Because if you hit it more to the right of them, then they'll go to the left, and if you hit it more to the left of them, then they'll go to the right. Now the second mechanic also has to do with Draven's E, Stand Aside, and that's the cast time on it. Now probably a lot of you know that when you use Draven's E, it takes a bit of time to cast. However, a lot of people, they forget to think about what this means. And what that means is that you can't use it as well reactively, and that you have to more use it predictably. Because you can start your E at the same time as someone is dashing onto you, but they'll still get onto you because the cast time. It'll take time to really get it out, right? So you need to use it a lot more predictably than you could otherwise. So the third mechanic that I'm going to talk about is more something that could fuck you over rather than something that you want to use, although it's something that you need to keep in mind, that it has to do with Draven's W. Draven's W is the move speed, the attack speed buff. Probably most of you know what it does, but what it can do is cancel your autos. So if you use it at like the same time as you start your auto, then in a lot of cases, the auto attack will be cancelled because of the W. And this can make you lose trades, make you lose kills, make you lose games, so it's very important that you use either your W after the attack or before the attack. Now the fourth trick is the fourth mechanic that probably a lot of people know about is Flash Ult, or Ult Flash, right? You cast your ultimate, and then you flash to make it redirect. There are two ways to do this. Either you let the ult hit someone, and then on the way back you flash to make it change direction, or you ult and then flash immediately while the ult is casting. Now both of these have different scenarios they can be used in, and both of these can be very useful in giving you a lot of unexpected damage and surprising people. That's really what this is used for. Now the fifth tip is E Flash. So as I said, with the E has a cast time, it means that you can use this to flash while you're casting E to get it out a lot quicker and to surprise people a lot more. And I use this pretty much every game. I'd rather always E-Flash rather than Flash E because it allows you to be so much quicker and to really surprise the opponents a lot more than a normal E or a normal Flash into E would. Now the sixth tip, or sixth mechanic, is the ult reactivation. So as many of you know, once you have ulted, after a certain distance your ult has traveled, you can press the button again to make the ult return. Now, a lot of people don't know that what you can do is press it right before it hits an enemy, and then it will instantly return and do both ticks of damage onto the enemy, making it a lot harder to dodge. Now, a way that you can do this that I have just practiced and learned the timing, but I saw someone on Reddit that proved that if you look at the minimap when you're ulting, that once the ult icon is over the player you're trying to reactivate the ult onto, icon on the minimap, that is the exact timing that you want to reactivate it. Now, I'd say for most of you, it's probably good to go into a practice tool and just practice the timing until you kind of find it natural, because this is something that can get you a lot more kills and make sniping with ult way more deadly, because instead of having 200 damage and then they'll probably dodge the second one, you have 400 damage instantly. So you should practice this and get good at it. Now, for the seventh mechanic is your W. Your W gives movement speed, gives attack speed, but what a lot of people don't know is that your W makes you ignore unit collision. So this makes it so that you can't be minion blocked when you press your W. I didn't know this up until a few months ago. Actually, this was completely new to me. So when you're chasing into minion waves, or you're just in minion waves in general trying to catch Axis, and you're getting minion blocked, then this is a good mechanic to use to make you not lose that axe, especially later on when your W costs like 20 mana and losing an axe costs 45. Even at level 1 or level 2, it's more worth to use your W rather than your Q, because your Q is 45 mana while your W is 40, and also when you then catch an axe, your W gets its CD refreshed while your Q does not. Now the 8th mechanic, it's more of something that you should keep in mind rather than a mechanic in and of itself, although it kind of is. So when you're chasing someone, you want to always wait for your axes, at least if you path them in front of you. If they go backwards or if they go to the side, then this doesn't apply. But when you're chasing someone, it is quicker to direct the axe towards them and then press S and wait for the axe, and then you use your W to catch up to them. This is a lot quicker, or in the long term, this is quicker than just letting the axe drop. And combined with this, using S is really good, and it makes catching axes when you're chasing and just waiting for axes a lot easier, because otherwise you'd have to click backwards or click onto the spot, and this can cause a lot of misclicks. So using S and also attack move, I think, is really important on Draven. Both of these probably not as important on a lot of champions as they are on Draven. Like Pornstar Zillion, he came onto my stream when I was Diamond 1, and he was like, yo, you should use S more, and you should use attack move more. And I was like, okay, I'll try that. And, well, look where I am now. Challenger. Okay, and for the 9th mechanic, we have knocking people into your ult. So, your E can be used in a variety of ways. And one of the ways you can use them is to knock people into the second activation of your ult. And this can be really useful to outplay your enemy, because they think that they'll dodge the second part of your ult, which is essentially 200 damage early game, but then you knock them into it, and, well, they're fucked. And with this as well, it's very important to remember the first mechanic, which is what side you're knocking them onto, because, for example, if they're on the right side, and you want to knock them to the left, then you want to E more to the right, so it'll just knock them to the tip into the left ult, and just, it'll kill them easy peasy. Now, for the 10th final mechanic is also to do with Draven's E. Now, this is to do with canceling auto attacks and also CCing the enemies so they can't dash away. So, for example, versus Kindred, right? Kindred wants to use her ultimate when she's very low, because what her ult does is it doesn't allow any enemies within the field to die. So what you can do is that you can E and then auto, so when the auto hits that will kill her, she's stunned by the E and she can't ult. Because your E, it knocks back, or it knocks to the side a little bit, and in this time frame, they are essentially stunned and can't do anything. So a lot of champions, they will like hold their dashes or stuff like that, and if they hold it long enough, you can punish them for this by either canceling their auto attacks or canceling whatever ability they wanted to use once they were low, so they can't use it because they're knocked, right? This is also really useful, for example, versus a Kalista, because she will try to hold all her rend stacks until she'll kill you, and then you can E her so she doesn't get the rend off, and then while she's stunned, you hit the auto that will kill her. Now, this takes a lot of time and practice and really getting used to, and once you learn your damage better and the enemy's damage better, then you can do this more consistently, and I think canceling auto attacks, especially later on into the game, when you're 1 versus 1 versus the enemy AD, one auto attack can be the difference between 500 damage. So if you're able to cancel that, then you can do a lot more damage while taking less damage. But yeah, that was pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. That's a lot of fucking people. So thank you very much for that. There'll probably be a montage or something like that to celebrate. And I also recently hit 800 LP, which is approximately rank 20 on the EU West server. So that's really cool. Hopefully we'll be able to get rank 1 and be able to continue our climb. There are some ups and downs, but, you know, it's going pretty well, and Draven's really strong right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. And yeah, bye.